An orange person will push for a society that's great at first. However, it will become alienating and unequal and unstable and deteriorating in the long term, as a few families hoard more and more wealth and usually become more and more separation conscious as a result. This is a big part of what happened in America. And a green person will push for socialism or libertarianism or a naive spiritual communal way of living, and it will fail at present because right now there are many lower consciousness people and these systems don't handle them properly. People at the yellow stage also finally understand that theirs isn't the ultimate stage of consciousness and that there are higher stages of consciousness still, which are about spiritual mastery. A yellow person isn't a spiritual master yet. So, these were the stages. So to summarize in brief, at red people are violent criminals, at blue people dogmatically label themselves as good and everyone else as evil, at orange people are materialistic, scientific, and individualistic, at green people are spiritually minded and they believe that love is all you need, to the point where they're unwilling to stand up to bad actors. At yellow people integrate all the previous perspectives. At stages beyond yellow people become spiritual masters. Most people who receive this message are in the green stage of consciousness. To them, I would say, all you need is love isn't the ultimate truth, it's merely the green perspective. The more integrated, yellow perspective is that you need love, wisdom, and strength. And the wisdom and strength part means that you allow speech, except when it's directly harassing or personally attacking someone. And you allow actions, except things that are so disruptive or hostile or selfish that they ruin things for the majority of people. Note that people generally only evolve a stage of consciousness if they are smacked in the face with the realization that their current stage doesn't work. So if a violent criminal never faces repercussions for his actions, he's likely to remain a violent criminal. Why not? So this American left-wing idea that you should just let criminals go free doesn't work. And in fact you help red stage people by letting them face the consequences of their actions, because that's how they grow out of their current stage of consciousness. That said, preferably prison does offer people the opportunity to develop new skills, to become physically fit and to connect with inspiring role models. If a blue person is allowed to personally attack others or make everything about their cause or harass people, if the blue person is allowed to do that, then why would he stop doing that? It's only when a blue person is told that he can say anything but only so long as he doesn't personally attack or harass others, that the blue person will encounter the friction that allows him to eventually get to a higher stage of consciousness. Telling people they can say anything they want but only in a non-aggressive, non-harassing, non-personally attacking way isn't censorship at all. So, appropriately standing up to lower consciousness people doesn't just protect innocent people from them. It also helps the lower consciousness people grow themselves. As a metaphor, if parents are loving towards a child but never correct the child or set any boundaries, then the child may grow up to be a narcissistic bully. Whereas if the parents are loving towards the child and also set boundaries and correct it as appropriate, then likely the child will grow up to be well-adjusted. It's the same for adults. If there are no boundaries or consequences for adults, then the adults who are behaving negatively will continue to do so, and no amount of love and light will change that. Yes, you need love, but you also need boundaries and consequences for people violating those boundaries. The actual loving thing to do is to set firm boundaries and not accept unacceptable behavior. Because that's what certain people need to grow to become better people. Plus this way innocents aren't harassed by them. So, I hope this was helpful. I love you so very much. And I wish you a very good week. Your star brother, Hakann. Note from the channeler, a good while ago, galactics and angels taught me that you need love, wisdom, and strength. And they taught me that many spiritual people only focus on love, and perhaps wisdom, and neglect, or are even in resistance to strength. I think that's ultimately an unbalanced way of being. In this message Hakann gave what I consider to be a realistic, positive, pro-strength, pro-wisdom message. And I also think that some only love people will not emotionally like this message. Your emotions are entirely valid. Whatever emotions come up in you are completely fine. There is no emotion that can possibly arise in you that is bad or evil or wrong or inappropriate. Yet, just because it's completely fine to have emotions, doesn't mean that emotions are an accurate guide to what is true. I invite you not to confuse "this doesn't feel emotionally good" with "I am connecting to genuine intuition or guidance and it is saying that this message is false." Anytime you are experiencing genuine intuition or guidance, please follow that over whatever anyone else says. However, people, including spiritual people, more often have emotional responses than genuine intuition. And some people label their emotional response as intuition. If someone says "this doesn't resonate" or "this doesn't align," then they might be guided by intuition, or they might be guided by emotions and just dressing that up in spiritual language. And whether something feels emotionally good or not, doesn't determine whether a message is true or not. With that said, I hope that you enjoyed or benefited from this message. Have a good week. For Era of Light.